Hello, big day today as it's finally time to reunite the axles with the chassis. So the fully refurbed axles, I've fitted the spacers on the end and the wheels with the temporary tyres. Hanging up here are all the bits and bobs that I need to attach the axles to the chassis via the springs, and all these components were blasted, soaked in acid and then painted with Zinger and then top coated with the Zinger MIO. I'm going to fit the axles next door in the carport in the new building. A few people asked me about the carport. The idea of the carport was so that I could carry on working on Project Kermit through the winter, so there wouldn't be any excuse to stop because of the weather or because my workshop was full of other projects. So I'd planned to make this last year, and that's when I bought the construction timber and the roof sheets. Didn't get around to it last year, so this year when I came to make it I ended up with a completely different design. So this is a gambrel roof. It was actually quite a lot of fun to build, and yes, the roof sheets are long ways, the wrong ways. But it does work like this. This is actually the second attempt at the roof. This works a treat now. If you want any more details, there's a 10-part build series available for patrons, which will cost you a quid. The next key step is to get these holes here onto these studs here, and I'm going to do that by raising the chassis. So we're located on this side. Oh, I know what I've forgotten. I need the brake shields to go in there, don't I? Yeah, I forgot to put these in. Good. U-bolts and the big plates for the bottom. I just want to get the other U-bolts on and then I'm done for the day. It's pretty late. I should probably point out while I'm doing this, there are a pair of axle stands here, one there and one there, just in case. I think that's it. I hope so, because it's well past dinner time. I'm going to take these axle stands out and then lower it down. It's the following day, and in the harsh daylight I can see all the bits I did wrong last night, and possibly that's what you get for working past dinner time. It's not too bad. Let me show you. This is the first thing. This little plate that guards the, well, it will guard the brake line. This is on the wrong side. Now, I fitted these. I did wonder which way round they should go, and I decided on this. This is correct for the short wheelbase, but for a long wheelbase like this vehicle, they need to be the other way round, so that the pokey out bit here pokes out that way. And this is all to do with the check straps. I've probably not going to fit check straps, but I might as well put these in the right orientation, so they need to be swapped. The other thing I got wrong is that this shackle plate here should be on the front, not the back, so quite sure I managed to get that wrong. So just these outer ones need swapping. I've opened up a big gap here, but the axle is still attached by the nuts down there. You can see the stud in there. I've got to get that big hole in the middle of the plate to locate onto that, and then everything will clamp together. There we go. Do that there. I think the other side's on. So this spring needs to come this way a tad. The axle stands in position. Just as a fail safe. So that's the difference between the two. It's pretty subtle. So this one's plain and that one's got a little spacer welded onto it. So that's going to go on the front. So there's a plain shackle on the back here. And on the other side a plain shackle which is threaded. Bolts go on the outside, nuts on the inside. Sound like I know what I'm on about, don't I? That's last night's mistakes rectified, and we're ready to get on with the actual business of the day, which is fitting the front axle. Yesterday I had a massive clear out at the back of the shed there, so there's room to scoot this in there. I'll leave the hoist where it is. I'll push the whole chassis back, which should be a lot easier now because it's got proper wheels on it. And then I can use the hoist again to lift. What should I lift? I'll lift it on this cross member here. Considerably lighter, the front springs. They are, of course, being parabolics, they are lighter anyway. So we've got a threaded shackle and a not threaded one. So we know that this is really wide up here, so these spacers are to compensate for that, getting there down to hanging onto the spring. So that means that this one, the unthreaded one, has got to go this way up. And I've got two sizes of bolt. There's obviously the long ones for here. Yeah, that'll be around there. Time to grab the axle. Same as last time then, by adjusting the height of the chassis, I should be able to get the other end of the spring in place, and then I'll lift up the entire assembly. And see, this axle has to spin around quite a bit. It's, it's pointing that. Yeah, it's got to go 90 degrees basically. Up first, get these axle stands out. That was silly, wasn't it? This has got zinc in it. That we're only drilling through actually. Good. The springs are on, but obviously the axle is not attached to anything just yet. So I'm going to lift the whole assembly up again and get these locating studs to locate in the holes on the bottom of the actual shoes here. These are the plates for the bottom, and then these are the U-bolts. So one of these U-bolts is a different shape. That one there, see it's got a squared off top, whereas all these are more U-shape. So the funny one goes there. U-bolts roughly in place. So with these, that holds the shock absorber, which means it must go on the outside at the back. And it goes like that. I will say at this point that I'm completely happy to be reusing the old U-bolts. There's plenty of life in those, but not so much the Nylox. The Nylox have gone on a bit easy, so I will replace those. I'm not going to order any because they're only metric M12s. I can just go out and get some next time I venture out into the world. What I can see is going to happen is I'm going to run out of thread on the U-bolts because these springs are so much slimmer in section than the originals. So yeah, I'll have to come off again. I'm going to put a couple of washers on, should be enough. Bag of washers. And a deep socket and the impact driver. I'm getting bored with this. Yeah, like that. Let's repeat over there. I don't know if you can tell, but I've brushed off all the paint that was on the threads, just because I figured I can replace it with copper grease and it won't bind up the nuts. Good. Done. that is a rolling chassis. That's quite exciting. It does feel good. It feels like massive progress. Yes, I'm happy with that. I can celebrate with a cup of tea. Look what just turned up. £636 something it was, and over a month for them to be delivered, but 4 brand new tyres. As one of my patrons pointed out, there's no point putting uprated brakes on a vehicle and then putting on 10-year-old rock solid tyres. And I must say, these are very flexible. These are general tyre, 750/16s of course, super all grip and tubeless, which is quite unusual actually for the Imperial size. And I got them from this company, 4x4 tyres. Why did I choose this company? They were the only people that I could possibly buy it from, so yes, choice of one, and they seem to have done fine. Painfully expensive, but that's just how it is. That was the going rate, but I'm looking forward to fitting them, although the weather's not conducive at the moment. I said before I wanted to fit the tyres on a sunny day. We're now in December and just even daylight is at a premium, let alone sunshine. I shall see how I get on. Anyway, I'll do for now. See you next time.